Hello, you lovely lot. Welcome back to my little channel. A brunette Sarah here, as you can see, and I'll tell you why I've coloured my hair in a minute. First of all, I just wanted to share with you, I saw 28 years later today, and I don't know, I don't want to slag off anyone involved, but I had hyped it up in my mind to be this absolute pinnacle of the decade. And it was a damp squid. I just don't get it. I've seen so many good films, I think, this year or the last few years in the same genre, and it just didn't do it for me. It had Jodie Comer, who's fabulous. She's an excellent young actress, but there was one sequence that was wonderful when they're, if you know, you know, they're basically running and you can see the northern lights and all that lovely stuff. But I just, it was, it was gore, blood. I'd never want to see a beheaded head again. I just don't want to see that in real life or in a film. I don't really want to see much nudity. I just don't, there's no need for it. I don't want to see it. I'm not a prude, but I just don't want to see cocks and things flying everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Cocks and blood. Two things I'm not really keen on. And the story, I mean, it's obviously part of, I think it's a trilogy. The next load of films, there's two more films, and this is the first part of the trilogy. I mean, great director, good cast, cinematography was outstanding, but I'm not sure. I love the first one. The first one is one of the films of, not this century, is it last century or this century? This century. And I just don't think you can outdo that in my personal opinion. But go and see it, let me know. There's also one particular ending, so I'm going to say, in there that I'm like, what? Why? Huh? Huh? I don't know. So let me know what you think. Anyway, so as you can see, if you are at all observant, one has coloured one's hair again. And A, because it went yellow, and I thought, I can't be arsed with this. I can't be bothered to keep putting toners on. My hair's really porous or not porous, whatever. And then they wash out just like that. And I thought, I can't be arsed and ruining people's bathrooms and things. And I just can't be bothered. And I thought I'll just chuck a light brown, dark blonde hair dye on, hope for the best. Use that as a toner, a demi or semi-permanent, and just want it kind of mousy, dark blonde, light brown, kind of my natural colour, really. My natural hair colour is slightly warmer, but I thought I'll chuck it on. I left it on slightly too long, not going to lie. So I wanted it very slightly lighter, so it'll wash out. But anyway, one of the reasons was because it went yellow. The second reason was I couldn't be asked to maintain it. I have neither the knowledge, nor the know-how, nor the determination to do that. Quite frankly, I haven't got the time. And didn't want to keep bleaching it. And it stayed the colour I wanted for about 2 minutes, roughly. And then the last reason was because I've had a plethora of blonde jokes. The three best ones from my colleagues, I'm going to tell you, and I've just written key words like blonde, bathroom, blonde, rope, blonde, sea, whatever. So hopefully I'll remember, not be what they call a blonde. I'm going to sneeze. Wait a sec, excuse me. Oh, bless me. Oh, such a terrible bore, isn't it, sneezing? Anyway, it's so stupid. The first one is, there was a brunette, a redhead, and a blonde stuck on an island, and there was no boat. And they had so much time to swim back to the mainland, whatever. Anyway, it was 50 miles. Quite a long way to swim if you're not a swimmer, per se. So they all started swimming together, and they all got really tired about around the halfway mark. Unfortunately, the redhead developed cramp and she drowned. Unfortunately, the brunette was eaten by a shark. And the blonde was really tired, and she decided to swim back. Do you get it? So 50 miles, she swims 25 miles, and because she's tired, she swims back rather than continue, even though it's the same distance, equidistance, whatever. It was told better. You had to be there. The other one is there were three girls, blonde, brunette, and redheaded again, on a rope that was lowered down from a helicopter. And in this scenario, the three ladies are rescued. So they're all hanging onto this rope for dear life. The pilot shouts down, as pilots tend to do, right, guys, really sorry, I can't take all three of you. One of you is going to have to perish, unfortunately. Who's going to be? How do we choose? And the brunette said, "Oh, I'm the thinnest. I'll go. I know that I'm lighter than you two, but the sharks probably won't eat me, so I have a good chance of survival." So she let go of the rope, and then the blonde was so impressed that she clapped. Do you get that? If you don't get that, maybe you're blonde. Joking, joking. I've known so many bright blondes. This is a very, what's the word? Not misanthropic, what do you call it? Misogynistic view, isn't it? But actually it's women that have made these jokes to me as well. So the last one, I've heard this one, I've heard different versions, different versions of this one. So there's a blonde shopping assistant in PC World, and a robber came in with a balaclava and smashing up the joint and, "Give me your money, give me that flat screen telly over there." And so everyone was like, yeah, take whatever you want. You can have that, babe. You can have that, babe. You can have that, mate. And then the blonde, instead, they all look at the blonde like, "You're nearest the alarm. Sound the silent alarm." And they all look at her and she goes, "Oh, yes!" running after him. "You forgot the remote control." Not a funny sound. Anyway, so I was going to M&S today, but I was incredibly busy. I went to the cinema. I had lots of little errands to do in Guildford, the town I did my bits and bobs in, and I only had time to pop to Poundland. So I had a few things that I needed and a few things I wanted. So that's where we'll start. I spent the grand total of £9.50. I've got a couple more things, but they're for another haul, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I only really bought a few bits. I spent the grand total of £9.50 because today I remembered to take my own carrier bag. Oh yes, I didn't have to spend a fortune on one from the shop. So without further ado, I will show you everything in order. It's a really small haul. I haven't got loads, but I didn't really need anything. And I'm not going to lie, I was trying to stick to a budget. I have just forked out for myself and a lovely friend who may or may not be watching. I think she's a silent viewer. By the way, if any of you have any comments, write bloody comments, even if it's rude or constructive criticism, let's say. But yes, I don't really have many comments these days. So if you do fancy saying something, please make yourself known. That'd be most appreciated. But anyway, my delightful friend, we'll call her N, is a fan of figure skating, as am I, and we've got the European Figure Skating Championships before the Winter Olympics next year in Sheffield. It's not really northern then. Sheffield up north, Yorkshire or Derbyshire, somewhere like that. And we're going. So I did spend money on those tickets. So that was the budget for the week. Anyway, back to the haul, Sarah. So the first item is... The diet's going so well, guys. Look at this. 6 milk chocolate tea cakes. Oh, I hope they're vegetarian. Do you know what? I didn't even check. I bet they're not now I've said that. And I think they are. There's nothing horrible in there. Oh, it's got palm oil. But it's sustainable palm oil. So that was £1. As it should be, from a place named, well, the audacity to call itself Poundland. It should be Poundsland, shouldn't it really? But not to waste time on that. Next two items, I couldn't resist. I've been trying really hard not to drink Pepsi, but you know what happened, that's quite restrained for me. I nearly bought a few more, but oh, I love me a Pepsi Cherry Max. I really do. I try so hard to drink water and it happens intermittently. It does happen. The irony is that part of my job is to encourage hydration of the tenants who, like me, don't like water. They drink coffee, most of them. And part of my job is to set an example and to encourage them to hydrate themselves. So I do drink water now and then, but you know what I'm like with Pepsi Max. It's just absolutely delicious, isn't it? I have more food than that. Okay, I've got one more food item. They were 75p each, so 2 for 150. I'm sure they used to be cheaper. I'm sure you used to be able to get 2 of these babies for, you know, either 75p each and then 2 for £1. But no, they were 75p each, 2 for 150. So there was no discount. I'm sure. I've chucked my receipt away now, but I'm sure of it. Next item. This is really random. I think I had this burst of, you know, sort of health awareness. And this is called Fruit Zone. And if you look, they look like toys, don't they? They're basically little star-shaped fruit pieces. And we've got mango. No, we haven't. Strawberry, orange and apple. So they were £1, by the way. So I will show you. I don't want to ruin my lippy. I've actually got lippy on. I haven't had it on for a while. Oh, the little tiny packets. Oh, I mean, I could eat the whole bloody box, let's be honest. But look, they're like little lunchbox packets. If I show you what one looks like. Might even have one on camera. Not that I think you want me to eat on camera. Oh, they're tiny. Oh my gosh. They're like midget gems. Look. Wait a sec, can you see that? Little tight as a green one. Is it appley? Oh yes. Oh, that's really sweet and appley, as it should be considering it is apple flavour. So that I highly recommend if you wanted to know what they're like. They're good and go for it. Then I've got, in fact, let's give it a little spritz in a minute. I've got some Fabulosa. I don't know, it's contentious, isn't it? Fabulosa, because the O of Fabulosa. Either way, I've got room spray in Spring Blossom, and that was £1. Look at the lovely packaging. It's slightly Cath Kidston, isn't it? And I do like a bit of Cath Kidston. Let's have a little whiff, or a whiffy woo, as Lisa would say if she's watching. Oh, I thought it'd go that way. That's my OCD after things in threes. Yes, that's very, very nice, very light. It's not synthetic or artificial. It's clean and it's slightly creamy and floral. So but not too much of either. It's very subtle and light. It's almost like air on a summer's day with a slight hint of pretty flowers. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. Then I've got to have bleach. This is for the house that I'm currently sitting in. They don't have any bleach, and they've got a very old, well, not an old house, but the loos are old and they're stained, the bowls are stained, and I don't want them coming back and thinking that I have dirtied the toilet, which I have not. I'm very clean, by the way. Anyway, where we're going with this. So I wanted to make sure the loos were in a spick and span for their return, and not gonna lie, that is cheaper in Home Bargains or B&M. It was £1, but quite frankly, in Guildford, there's not one of these bargain shops apart from Aldi or Aldi, whatever you call it, and I couldn't be asked to go looking for anything cheaper. It is what it is. You know, you make the odd sacrifice, it kind of balances out. So some things you get cheaper, the odd thing is a bit more than you'd normally pay for it, but it doesn't really matter. Not too bad. Then, sniff one here. Sniffing in the shop. So I've got an original shower gel in Carex, and that was £1 as well. It's apparently suitable for all skin types, dermatologically tested. It's a mouthful. 100% soap free. Isn't it meant to be soap free anyway? Does that mean it doesn't foam up? I don't know. I really don't know. But it smells very clean. It smells very, as you'd expect from the colour, it smells very much fresh, clean, sort of more an aquatic smell, like fresh sea and air and, you know, sea breeze and all that kind of lovely stuff. It's not sweet or creamy, and it's invigorating. So I think I can smell someone's got a barbecue going. Oh, nice veggie burger, chips and corn on the cob. A nice sort of vegetarian option, a version of Nando's. Oh, that would do me nicely. Then I'm replacing this. I've used theirs up. It's super, apparently. This was £1, I think, as well. It's a super absorbency kitchen towel. And they very, very helpfully tell you This is for spills and spillages. I feel like saying thanks, Poundland. I didn't know, quite frankly, what to use this for. It's really helpful of you to enlighten me. Thanks. So I thought that was okay for £1. And then, ooh, this. You may wonder what this is. It's nothing dodgy or dirty. Don't worry. Get your head out of the gutter. It is it's a chew stick, and it's got chicken and beef, and very good for dental hygiene for dogs. And my mother's dog, bless her, Daisy, my RIP, my baby, she used to love these. And she used to chew so hard and for so long, she actually would cut her gum sometimes. And you try and take it away from her, and she'd be like that, get her teeth out of you. It was so cute. Bless her little furry heart and her teeth. She had the best teeth. They were sharp up until the end. Girlfriend had a good set of teeth. I tell you that for nothing. But this is for Julio, my mother's dog. And what he'll do, he does this silly thing where he will ignore it for a while. He'll reject it. He'll pretend it's not there. He'll be like this. And then he'll kind of inch towards it, and he'll sort of play with it, and then he'll suddenly go like that, and you'll go near him and be like this, and wanting to play and wanting you to grab off him, and then he'll run away with it, and then he'll do that for a few days, and he'll forget about it, and then he'll suddenly find it again. It's all chewed at both ends, and he will just, like a dog with a bone, no pun intended, you can't separate them. He will just enjoy it, and that'll keep him busy. Ooh, it's a good one. Anyway, that was £1. And I thought that was really good because Pets at Home would sell that for about £2.29 or something like that. Then, the last item from Poundland, this is for the next cat I'm looking after, Dreamies, and they were £1, which is a bargain. They're £1.40 in Sainsbury's, and they're shake-ups with multivits, and you've got... So it's Rock and Roost. You've got chicken, duck, and plant. What's that? Like chives or something? I'm assuming it is. And quite frankly, all cats love these. They put something in there, something very addictive. I've actually tasted one. I'm not going to lie. I have tasted cat treats and dog treats. I'm really weird, I know, but I'm just desperate to know what they were tasting and what the sort of texture was like, the taste, and how salty they were. Basically, don't try cat treats and dog treats like me. It can't end well, but they also taste of nothing. They taste like the most bland sort of water biscuits, like cheese biscuits, those Cars biscuits. They taste a bit like those, but a really weird texture and slightly, I don't know, it's like a weird aftertaste. And also Dreamies, not Dreamies, those Licky Licks. I've tasted those before, those long yogurt strips that cats have. And they lick it, or you squeeze it and mix it with food or whatever. They taste like the weirdest, oiliest, most buttery yogurt ever. It's like yogurt that's oil-based and with an oily aftertaste. It's bizarre. Anyway, that is it from Poundland. There's nothing else. I mean... Other than that, I have bought a pair of flip-flops. That's one of them from Primani today. They cost me the grand total of £1. So they could have come from Poundland as well, couldn't they? But they didn't. And then I've also bought some socks and knickknacks, some pants. Quite pretty ones, actually. And they're in the washing machine currently because I'm not wearing those until they're washed, because you don't know who's touched them, where they've been, what chemicals have been on them. And then last but not least, I showed a picture of my little post section. I mean, this was, look, Marmite puffs, cheese and Marmite. Oh my gosh. I mean, where I'm a bit about the film I saw today, these I feel differently about. I feel the complete opposite. And I'm not going to lie, I bought these yesterday, which was Wednesday the 25th. Yeah, because we had our staff meeting 25th. Today's the Thursday the 26th. Well, obviously the 25th yesterday. Oh my gosh, just ignore me. That's how many packets I have left. 1. I had 5 packets last night driving home from work. It was kind of my supper, to be fair, but... It is what it is, isn't it? They're absolutely delicious. They're delicious cheesy puffs with a bit of lovely Marmite flavour. In this country, all the Australians, they have their Vegemite, which is the same thing really. There's an advert for Marmite, and it's basically someone in a situation gives someone who's desperate to eat something with Marmite on, and they're like spitting it out and throwing it back at them and stuff. It's really funny. And the tagline is something like, you'll either love it or hate it, or you love it, or you either love it or hate it, something like that. And I don't know if I agree with that, because I grew up kind of hating it. Not very keen, but I think it's only because it was very thickly spread on things. And then a few years later, I tried it again, and I thought, yeah, I felt a bit blasé about it. I thought I have no opinion on the matter either way, really. And then I had one day cheese and toast. Not that you need to know this, but cheese and toast with really thin brown bread, loads of cheese chucked all over the top, all over the shop, and then a drizzle, a tiny bit of Marmite. And I was in love. I fell in love. That was it for me. I not convert. I just realised I quite like Marmite. And now, as I've got older, every year. My love for Marmite grows, and that's where we are really. Marmite cashew nuts from Waitrose, Marmite peanuts. Oh, lovely. So I'm going to bugger off because I haven't had supper yet, and I've got to study. I've got to upload this, and I've got to go and enjoy these really. So thank you very much for watching. Oh, frog in my throat, lovely. Sorry about that. Take care of yourselves and of each other, and I will see you again soon. Bye.